Chapter 131 I really destroyed the eye of the formation, how about I prove it? How dare you show off such a small soul ball? Xiaochen looked at the soul ball the size of a volleyball in Ding Yi's hand. Although he was a little surprised, he thought of his own 100 soul balls and looked at Ding Yi and mocked him. Ha ha ha. Hearing this, Ding Yi couldn't help laughing out loud, looking at Xiaochen disdainfully and said, "You say this, I'm afraid you are already scared by my giant soul ball in your heart." Before Ding Yi finished speaking, when he saw the two basketball-sized soul balls that Xiaochen took out, his eyes widened in shock, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. With your soul, it is impossible to refine the soul ball to such a terrifying degree. I don't believe it. It can't be said that Ding Yi's mentality is very bad, but he is a disciple of the upper realm, and he also practices the top soul cultivation method of the upper realm. In addition, he has the help of the Golden Soul Holy Spirit tree in the past 200 years. He doesn't think that there can be soul cultivators in this small lower realm with a soul strength greater than him. Nothing is impossible. 200 years ago, I could beat you with my own strength. 200 years later, I can continue to beat you with external forces. I'm not afraid to tell you that I'm rich now. Today, I'll tell you something with facts. Hearing this, Ding Yi gradually stabilized his mentality, stared at the heroic Xiaochen and asked, coldly, "What's the matter?" Using the soul ball in battle is called replenishment, but using the soul ball in battle is called wasting money. Boom. After saying that, Xiaochen began to absorb the soul power in a soul ball frantically, and a violent soul power blasted towards Ding Yi again like a surging wave. Seeing Xiaochen's move again, Ding Yi also began to absorb the soul power of the soul ball in his hand and started a new round of attrition war. The reckless and crazy release of soul power made both of them consume the power of a soul ball in just 1 minute. I have to say that this guy is indeed much stronger than 200 years ago. The strength of his soul power is far above mine. I consumed a soul ball the size of a basketball, and the other party only consumed a soul ball the size of a volleyball. When he began to absorb the soul power in the second soul ball, Xiaochen also began to be secretly shocked. Not far away. Is this how soul cultivators fight? It's really earth-shattering. If it lasts longer, I'll really fall asleep. Looking at the two people staring at each other in the air, Yifeng was really numb. If the blood-sucking mantis hadn't said that the two were really fighting, and the 500-meter range of the two was filled with extremely terrifying soul fluctuations, he would have really thought that the two were competing to see who could last longer. Master, in my opinion, as long as Elder Xiao has enough soul balls, he will be invincible. The blood-sucking mantis saw the listless Yifeng and tried hard to find a topic. Otherwise, if it was left alone to stare, it really couldn't stand it. The battle between soul cultivators was not interesting at all. No, that guy definitely has some trump card, so even if Elder Xiao has enough soul balls, he will not be the opponent of that guy. Hearing this, Yifeng gave a different opinion. Although he couldn't understand it, he believed the result given by the system. 10 minutes later. When Ding Yi consumed 10 soul balls, the whole person was about to go crazy. He felt very distressed every time he used a soul ball, while Xiaochen became more and more excited as he used it, which simply drove him crazy. Enough. I've been playing with you for so long, it's time to end it. Boom. As Ding Yi's voice fell, a round golden wheel as dazzling as the sun suddenly emerged from behind Ding Yi, and countless golden threads visible to the naked eye burst out from the golden wheel. Not good. Xiaochen felt that each golden thread contained an extremely terrifying soul attack, which made his face change drastically. He quickly released all his soul power to resist the opponent's attack. Puff. When the countless golden threads containing the soul attack easily broke through Xiaochen's defense and penetrated his entire head, he vomited blood and his face turned pale instantly. Unbreakable. Looking at Xiao Chen, who instantly lost his fighting power, Ding Yi also sneered with disdain, but he was very excited in his heart. You know, he has only cultivated the Golden Will Emperor soul art to the first level, but even so, who is his opponent in this lower world? That golden thread only hurts the soul, it's really not simple. Let's go and see how Elder Xiao is injured. Seeing that the two people in the distance fell from the air, Yi Feng also directly called the blood-sucking mantis to walk towards the two people in the distance. It's not that Yi Feng didn't make a move in advance on purpose, but he didn't expect Ding Yi's attack to suddenly become so fierce, and all this happened in a flash, and he just reacted. Yi Feng. So handsome. You. Seeing the man and the demon coming from a distance, Xiao Chen was moved. Although he had noticed the arrival of Yi Feng and the others, he did not expect that after he was defeated, they would not run away but walk towards him. So handsome? Hearing Xiao Chen's words, Yi Feng looked at the blood-sucking mantis beside him with a shocked expression and asked, "When did you get such a nickname?" "Well, I like to show off, so they gave me this nickname." Hearing Yi Feng's question, the blood-sucking mantis explained with embarrassment. "Interesting, really interesting. Although I don't know who you are, don't tell me that you two rubbish want to save him." Not only did Xiao Chen discover Yi Feng and the others in advance, but Ding Yi also discovered them a long time ago, but he really didn't take them seriously after feeling the strength of one man and one demon. "Okay, I don't want to waste time on you trash. Xiao Chen, let me ask you, how did you escape from my master's soul-devouring formation? I'll only give you 1 minute to think about it. If you don't answer, don't blame me for turning them both into living dead and living dead monsters. And I won't kill you before you answer this question. I have 10,000 ways to make you tell me the answer I want." Hearing this, Yi Feng stepped forward and looked at Ding Yi and said, "I destroyed the array center of the soul-devouring formation, which can be regarded as my rescue of Senior Xiao Chen. What, do you have any objection? You? Can a little trash at the peak of the 9th level of the Shenzong realm destroy the array center of the soul-devouring formation set up by my master? Ha ha ha. Boy, what are you kidding me? Since you said you destroyed it, I really want to know how you destroyed it." Hearing Yi Feng's words, Ding Yi couldn't help laughing. "How do you prove this?" Just when Yi Feng didn't know how to prove it, he suddenly saw the dazzling golden wheel behind Ding Yi and said directly, "If I can destroy the golden wheel behind you, can it prove that I destroyed the array I?" Although it was boring, the other party's ridicule just now made Yi Feng extremely unhappy. He must prove himself and then kill the other party. Chapter 132. Just an ant, you want to hurt my master. Destroy my golden wheel? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Ding Yi was stunned at first, and then he couldn't help laughing and said, "Okay, then destroy one for me to see. As long as you can destroy my golden wheel, then I will believe what you just said." "Hey!" Xiao Chen, who was standing by, sighed when he heard this. Although he didn't know how Yi Feng destroyed the center of the formation, since Yi Feng could destroy the center of the formation, it would be no problem for him to destroy a golden wheel like yours. "Elder Xiao, why did you suddenly sigh?" The blood-sucking mantis on the side also asked curiously when he heard this sigh. As for the guy on the opposite side, it really didn't take him seriously. With that one-armed madman around, who could hurt Yi Feng? Young people don't know how powerful Yi Feng is. You shed tears when your golden will is destroyed. Although we are rivals, thinking of the tragic fate of the other party, shouldn't I sigh to show respect? Hearing Xiao Chen's explanation, the blood-sucking mantis couldn't help but smile bitterly. It must be said that this respect was too damn good. "Come on. Aren't you going to destroy my golden wheel? Hurry up, I'm impatient, you rubbish, don't let me down." Ding Yi on the other side saw that Yi Feng didn't do it for a long time, and couldn't help shouting again. "Destruction eyes." As Yi Feng's eyes instantly turned into strange dark pupils, a breath of destruction flashed and disappeared. Puff. As the golden wheel was suddenly destroyed, Ding Yi, who hadn't reacted yet, suddenly spit out a mouthful of blood, and his face turned pale like Xiao Chen. The golden wheel was destroyed. The soul was severely damaged. What made Ding Yi feel the most devastated was that in order to recast the golden wheel, he not only needed the help of the golden soul Holy Spirit tree, but also some soul-type spiritual herbs that only existed in the upper realm. As for how much time and energy it will take, it is no longer important now. Yi Feng, stop him quickly, he is going to call for help again. Xiao Chen, who was standing by, saw a golden jade pendant suddenly appear in Ding Yi's hand, and his expression changed drastically as he quickly reminded Yi Feng. Mr. Xiao, you dare not ascend to the upper realm because you are afraid of that damn golden wheel emperor, right? Today, I will take this opportunity to give you peace of mind. In the future, you can be an elder in the sect comfortably. Then we can ascend to the upper realm together and continue to be a spendthrift. After hearing Xiao Chen's reminder, Yi Feng looked at Xiao Chen and said this without caring. Xiao Chen was completely dumbfounded after hearing this. He suddenly had an extremely terrifying guess in his mind, which made his whole body tremble uncontrollably. This guess was really too terrifying. System, when I encounter danger later, let that one-armed madman come out. I want to see how awesome the projection of that shitty golden wheel emperor is. Yi Feng also talked directly to the system at this time. Ding. The system has better recommendations for members of the Spendthrift Guard team. You can use the projection to pull the other party's original body down from the upper realm. How to deal with it at that time depends on the host's mood. Hearing the system's prompt, Yi Feng was completely dumbfounded. This can also pull the other party's original body down from the upper realm? How awesome are the official members of the Spendthrift Guard team? Wait. System, how strong is this golden wheel emperor in the upper realm? How does it compare to Master's Wuji Holy Land? Yi Feng suddenly thought of something and immediately asked the system. Ding. The golden wheel emperor can directly penetrate the entire Wuji Holy Land by himself. Damn. Hearing this, Yi Feng was completely blown up, and even got goosebumps all over his body. He knew that the prodigal guards were strong, but wasn't this a bit too strong? Even novels don't dare to write like this. Ding. Remind the host that the upper realm is not the end. Only the top strongmen in the top interface will make the formal members of the prodigal guard feel a little tricky. In the process of your prodigal, there is a chance to get hidden rewards, and these rewards will be distributed to the reserve prodigal guard members. Hidden rewards? Doesn't that mean that as long as I spend money like crazy, I am actually secretly cultivating those reserve prodigal guards? As long as I spend money enough and fiercely, the more resources they get, the greater the chance of becoming a formal prodigal guard? This sense of participation is so damn cool. Yi Feng has even begun to imagine that 10 formal prodigal guards have become thousands and thousands. Ding Yi, where is your golden wheel? Who dares to destroy my disciple's golden wheel? Just as Yi Feng was imagining the future, with a roar, a terrifying aura that suppressed the world descended on this area. Is this the projection of the golden wheel emperor? Seeing a burly man in a golden robe with 9 golden wheels behind him in the air, Yi Feng was also shocked. The other party's appearance were really too damn handsome. Master. 200 years ago, my disciple was beaten. 200 years later, my disciple's golden wheel was abolished. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Thinking that he would be scolded by his master, Ding Yi simply blocked the mouth of the golden wheel emperor in advance and said what his master said, leaving his master speechless. Hearing Ding Yi's words, Emperor Jinluan was so angry that he almost couldn't breathe. The more he looked at Ding Yi, the angrier he became. He hated himself for accepting such a useless disciple in the lower world. Master, it was this young man who destroyed my disciple's golden wheel. I don't even know how he destroyed it. And it was also him who destroyed the eye of the soul-devouring array and rescued Xiaoqin. Thinking of his own golden will being destroyed, Ding Yi couldn't wait to draw Emperor Jinluan's attention to Yi Feng. Just an ant. No matter whether it's true or not, just kill him. Hearing Ding Yi's words, Emperor Jinluan stretched out his finger and pointed at Yi Feng. As long as he had a thought, he could instantly wipe out Yi Feng's soul. Just an ant. You want to hurt my master? Just as Emperor Jinluan was about to take action, with the appearance of a space crack, a more terrifying aura instantly enveloped the area. At this moment, the terrifying pressure that suppressed Yi Feng, the blood-sucking mantis, and Xiaoqin disappeared instantly, and all three of them regained their ability to move. Who? Which official prodigal guard will come out this time? Yi Feng's eyes were fixed on the space crack at this time. After all, apart from the one-armed madman, he had never seen the second official prodigal guard. The burly bald man, I stepped out with 1 foot last time, but my lord, you let me go back, I also want to come out for some fresh air. A touch of gold. Wait. Golden armor. Damn, it can't be the reserve golden armor guards who came out, can't you show some respect to the Golden Will Emperor? Chapter 133 Yi made a move, and the Golden Will Emperor's mentality collapsed. Yi, meet my lord. When the Golden Armor Guard completely walked out of the space crack, he knelt on one knee, directly facing Yi Feng, shouting excitedly. Evil disciple. What on earth did you provoke? The Golden Will Emperor realized that the projection could not move under this terrifying pressure, and he was terrified and roared at the confused Ding Yi. Master, I don't know. I just followed your orders to capture Xiaoqin and find out who destroyed the soul-devouring formation. Didn't you tell me to do this? Hearing the master scolding, Ding Yi also explained loudly with grievance. Bullshit. When did I ask you to trouble Xiaoqin? Don't blame me for everything. Also, from now on, our relationship as master and disciple is over. I don't want this projection clone anymore. You can only wish for the best. As he said this, Emperor Jinluan was about to explode his projection clone. The golden-armored sturdy man gave him an extremely strong sense of crisis. Even through the projection clone, his original body felt terrified. He didn't know why this kind of existence appeared in the lower world. He just wanted to escape from here as soon as possible and get rid of everything here. Pull down the original body of the Golden Will Emperor from the upper world for me. Hearing the words of the Golden Will Emperor, Yi Feng knew that the other party wanted to escape, and hurriedly gave an order to Yi. Yi obeys. As soon as the voice fell, Yi turned into a golden light and appeared in front of the projection clone of the Golden Will Emperor, who was about to self-destruct. My lord wants to see you, come out. As he said, Yi put his hands on the body of the projection clone and slowly tore a space crack. When the people below saw this scene, it was like tearing the projection of the Golden Will Emperor in half, but the projection was virtual, and the tearing of the body turned into a space crack. Upper world, Golden Will Palace. No, this is impossible. When the Golden Will Emperor saw the space crack that appeared in front of him, he was scared to death. He had never heard of or seen such a great magical power. Since you don't come out on your own initiative, I'll help you. As he said that, Yi's right hand directly reached into the space crack. Strangely, Yi's right hand suddenly appeared from the space crack in front of the Golden Will Emperor of the upper realm. It's over, the Golden Will Emperor just tried to get rid of the space crack in front of him, but no matter how he moved, the space crack would follow him. Seeing Yi's right hand stretched out, he had completely given up struggling. The difference in strength between the two was too great. The projection shattered. The real body descended. When Yi pulled the real body of the Golden Will Emperor out of the space crack, the torn projection also disappeared. Boom! As the Golden Will Emperor completely appeared in Shantian continent, thunder exploded in the sky and thunderclouds emerged. Noisy! Seeing the heavenly calamity cloud condensed in the sky, Yi made a move in an instant. With a flash of 100-meter-long golden blade light, the heavenly calamity cloud condensed in the sky was instantly cut in half, and then began to dissipate rapidly. One person and one sword suppresses the heavenly way. One person and one sword cuts the calamity cloud. Can you restrain yourself a little? If you continue like this, I will have the illusion that I can do it. Seeing this scene, Xiaochen below almost cried. He didn't want to admit that this was the heavenly thunder tribulation that he had experienced countless times of life and death, even though the two recent heavenly thunder tribulations were countless times stronger than the 9th heavenly thunder tribulation he had endured. My lord, I'm pulling it down. How do you deal with that? Yi Eiji in the air asked Ding Yi not far away. Kill him. Swish. As Yifeng's voice fell, a golden blade flashed by, and Ding Yi didn't even react to Yifeng's words, and the whole person was cut in half by a knife. My lord, did you kill this one directly? Yi pointed at the Golden Will Emperor and looked at Yifeng and asked. Gulp. Hearing this, the Golden Will Emperor, who was held in Yi's hand, was frightened and swallowed hard. He had never thought that after fighting in the upper realm for tens of thousands of years, his final life and death would fall into the hands of a young man in the lower realm. Old Xiao. He sealed you for 200 years, and even scared you to the point of not daring to ascend to the upper realm. I offer 2 suggestions. Either kill him directly, or enslave him for 200 years. Of course, if you have other ideas, such as torturing him for 200 years, you can do it, but you must get rid of your inner demons, otherwise even if you ascend to the upper realm, your state of mind will be in trouble. Yifeng did not make a decision at this time, but gave the decision to Xiaochen. Yifeng did not know that the Golden Will Emperor had already become Xiaochen's inner demon. If it were not for the system reminder, Yifeng would have made the first 2 suggestions. Touched. After Xiaochen heard what Yifeng said, he was moved to tears. Who said Yifeng is only a spendthrift? He is so caring. Yifeng, you not only saved me from the soul-devouring formation, but you also helped me get rid of my inner demons. As long as you don't mind, from now on, my life will be yours. I can't repay you. Then I will repay Yifeng with my body. I will repay Yifeng with everything I have. What are you doing? What are you doing here? One is buying people's hearts. The other is showing loyalty. Just give me a straight answer whether to kill or not. Can you respect me a little? Seeing Yifeng and Xiaochen singing the same tune, Emperor Jinluan was going crazy. Spendthrift. Too damn spendthrift, using the life of an emperor from the upper realm to exchange for the loyalty of a powerful person who ascended from the lower realm. Only the master can do this. The blood-sucking mantis on the side had another idea. Young Master Yi, killing him is too easy for him. I want to enslave him forever. If one day I die, he will also be buried with me. Hearing this, Yifeng realized the extent of Xiaochen's hatred for Emperor Jinluan. But on the other hand, if it weren't for him, Xiaochen would probably be sealed in the demon cave until his death. That kind of loneliness and torture, without sunlight, is really cruel. Yi, I leave it to you. Yifeng said directly to Yi at the side. Golden contract. Seal with strength. Yi solved all the problems in just 1 minute. My lord, if you ascend to the upper realm in the future, his strength will be fully restored, but because of the power of the contract, he will still be controlled by Xiaochen, unless one day his strength can surpass me, but this chance is a little slim. At present, the strength of my subordinates has made a qualitative leap. Even if it descends on Xiantian continent, the heavenly calamity cloud dare not appear again. My lord, if you need it, just let Yi come. If there is nothing else, I will take my leave first. After saying that, Yi directly tore open a space crack and walked in. Elder Xiao, to what extent can he exert his current strength? When Yi left, Yifeng also looked at Xiaochen and asked. Young Master Yi, his strength is currently at the level of ascension, but he can beat 100 of me. Hearing Yifeng's question, Xiaochen also hurriedly answered. Okay, let's go back to the sect. It just so happens that the sect is still short of a chores. You can also remind him of some things on the way. Don't let the people in the sect know about his identity first. Yifeng looked at Xiaochen and reminded him. Chapter 134. Tell me, how much spirit crystals did you spend to bring him back? God will take his own life, and no one will be spared. Emperor Jinluan never dreamed that he would be enslaved forever because of a disciple from the lower realm. If God could give him another chance and let time go back to the first time he met Xiaochen, he would definitely not help his disciple again, but would beg Xiaochen to give his evil disciple 10,000 swords. A sect where an emperor from the upper realm can only serve as a chores, I should be considered the most powerful guardian demon in Tianhen continent. Seeing the Golden Will Emperor who had already accepted his fate, the blood-sucking mantis was now thankful that it was caught by Yifeng. It knew that it was far from the most glorious moment of its life. From the moment it was caught by Yifeng, its fate had completely changed. Outside Xinghuan sect. I'll wait for you here. How could Elder Xiaochen leave the sect for no reason? As a result, as soon as Elder Xiaochen left, that prodigal son rode the blood-sucking mantis and left. This was definitely a premeditated action. Luo Qianxue stood outside the sect and pondered secretly. She always felt that these two people and one demon must have gone out to do something without telling her. At this moment, Luo Qianxue suddenly sensed the breath of several people and looked directly into the distance. Yifeng. When Luo Qianxue saw that it was 3 people and 1 demon who came back, she was so angry that her whole body shook uncontrollably. Just a moment. He was out for a while, and he brought back another one. Master? What are you doing standing here? After landing, Yifeng saw Luo Qianxue standing here alone and asked, with a puzzled look on his face. Don't worry about what I'm doing here. Explain to me who this person is? When Luo Qianxue heard what Yifeng said, she was so angry that her mortal period almost jumped out. Him. Master, you have to praise your disciple well. Look, our sect now has disciples, deacons, and elders, but don't you feel that you are short of a servant? Servant? The sect is still short of servants? There are so many elders in the sect who are almost idle all day long. When the little yellow dog is not practicing, they rush to walk the dog every day. Are they still short of people to work? No. There are enough people in the sect now, and we must not add more. Thinking of this, Luo Qianxue looked at Yifeng and said directly, Yifeng, you know the situation of our sect now. Even if it is a servant, it is not an ordinary person who wants to come in. The strength must be at least the tribulation realm. Humph. Although I don't know where you found this strong man, since you let him be a servant, his strength must not be that strong. Thinking of this, Luo Qianxue even began to admire her own intelligence. When Emperor Jinluan heard this, he was also secretly surprised. After all, through Ding Yi, he also had some understanding of the Tianhen continent, but it was really hard for him to imagine what kind of sect it was that even menial servants had to start from the tribulation realm. Too small. Master, you are too small. Seeing Luo Qianxue's confused expression, Yifeng continued, as the only servant in the sect, the starting point of the tribulation realm is too low. Not to mention the tribulation realm, even those who have reached the peak of the 9th level of the tribulation realm and have withstood a heavenly thunder tribulation are too low. Master, let me introduce you to Jinluan. Like Elder Xiao, he is also a strong man who can ascend at any time. Only such a strong man is worthy of being a servant in our sect. Hiss. Hearing this, even Luo Qianxue couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. Letting an ascended big man be a servant, how much pressure would this put on the other elders in the sect? It's my turn to perform next. This girl must be asking why a strong man like me would come to this sect to do chores. Although Xiao Chen and Yi Feng didn't mention this to me along the way, who am I? I am the Golden Will Emperor. They forgot such an important thing, how could I forget it? If I perform well this time, the days ahead might be a little better. The Golden Will Emperor thought secretly with joy at this time. Huh. After being shocked, Luo Qianxue took a deep breath, looked at Yi Feng helplessly and asked directly, "Tell me, how much spirit crystals did you spend to kidnap her back?" Kidnapped? I was kidnapped back, and I was kidnapped back from the upper realm. Why don't you play by the rules, girl? Hearing Luo Qianxue's words, the Golden Will Emperor was completely dumbfounded. This plot is wrong. He had carefully thought out an impeccable reason along the way, and just wanted to perform well. Isn't this a trap for him? No, I have to show off. Otherwise, I will definitely have a hard time because of Xiao Chen's hatred for me. Thinking of this, Jinluan looked at Luo Qianxue and smiled, "Sect Master, I was not kidnapped. In fact, I want to join the sect as an errand boy because..." Before Emperor Jinluan finished speaking, Luo Qianxue interrupted impatiently, "Okay, you don't have to explain for this prodigal son. Which elder in the sect is not here because of him? I'm used to it. And with your strength, you are willing to come to my small sect as an errand boy. I really can't imagine what great benefits this prodigal son has given you. No matter what, this sect master keeps his word. Since your strength has reached my standard, then join the sect as an errand boy." After saying that, Luo Qianxue ignored the stunned Emperor Jinluan and turned to walk into the sect. What a great benefit! I was captured by him from the upper realm. Seeing Luo Qianxue turning around and leaving, Emperor Jinluan's mentality collapsed. I'm so sleepy. Elder Xiao, let Jinluan keep watch for you today. I'll arrange work and accommodation for him tomorrow. I'm going back to rest first. Yi Feng and the blood-sucking mantis walked towards the sect. Emperor Jinluan, I'm afraid you never dreamed that there would be a day when you would be enslaved by me. But don't worry, I won't make it too difficult for you. Although I have endured the pain of being sealed for 200 years, if you hadn't sealed me, I wouldn't have met Master Yi. This is also a great opportunity you gave me. Do a good job in the sect. If you perform well, maybe I will enslave you for a few hundred years and then let you go free." After saying that, Xiao Chen ignored Emperor Jinluan's reaction and took him to his residence. After a while. What the hell is this? When Emperor Jinluan saw Xiao Chen's luxurious villa built with the 9,000-year-old golden soul Holy Spirit tree, his eyes almost popped out of his head in shock. You just stay outside tonight and I'll arrange accommodation and work for you tomorrow. After saying that, Xiao Chen walked straight into the luxurious villa. You are so arrogant that you use the 9,000-year-old golden soul Holy Spirit tree to build a house. 200 years ago, you snatched the 3,000-year-old golden soul Holy Spirit tree from my evil disciple? Are you sure you are not deliberately messing with us, the master and the disciple? Seeing Xiao Chen walking into the villa, the Golden Will Emperor was going crazy. Chapter 135 I'm really giving it to you. Tianhua Realm, outside Xianyan Sect. When Li Fei finally got back to the sect after more than 2 hours, he found that Master Sun Tianyu and Great Ancestor Wan Qingshan were standing outside the sect waiting for him. Seeing the angry eyes of the two, Li Fei's heart trembled. Wait. I have broken through to the realm of Sword Heart, why am I panicking? Thinking of this, Li Fei directly revealed an extremely arrogant look and walked towards the two people opposite with extremely arrogant steps. Something's wrong. Sun Tianyu, this brat is very wrong. He ran away for more than 2 hours without permission. Now he's back and not only is he not scared, but he's so arrogant. To be honest, seeing him so arrogant now, I can't help but want to beat him up. Wang Qingshan saw Li Fei walking towards him with an arrogant step, and he felt like he couldn't control his right hand. How arrogant he is now, how miserable he will be in a while. Grand Ancestor, no matter what this brat does, we have to give him a good beating for his arrogant attitude and make him learn his lesson. After hearing what Wang Qingshan said, Sun Tianyu also felt that it was time to unseal his right hand. Boom! When he came to the two of them, Li Fei did not waste any words and directly released the death sword intent of the sword heart realm, and then said with a smug look on his face, "It's too boring to stay in this sect, I'm going out to relax and break through the death sword intent to the sword heart realm." After hearing what Li Fei said, and seeing the black sword embryo emitting the death sword intent floating in front of Li Fei, Wang Qingshan slapped Sun Tianyu on the head, and then glared at Sun Tianyu and shouted, "I'm here, try to touch him." I. Looking at the Grand Ancestor who was protecting Li Fei, Sun Tianyu was almost crying because of grievance. Who just said that he couldn't help wanting to beat him? In the main hall of the sect. When Sun Tianyu and Wang Qingshan saw the piles of golden silkworm star stones, their eyes almost glowed green. They had never seen so many golden silkworm star stones in their lives. "Li Fei, where did you get so many golden silkworm star stones? What are you going to do with these golden silkworm star stones?" After being shocked, Sun Tianyu looked at Li Fei and asked directly. "Well, how do you think about using these golden silkworm star stones to build a hut?" Li Fei looked at the two of them with a little uneasiness and expressed his thoughts. Hey, looking at the two people who were ready to fight and walked towards him, Li Fei knew that he could not escape this beating after all. "Master, Great Ancestor. For the sake of my breakthrough to the realm of Sword Heart, please don't hit me in the face, otherwise I really can't open my eyes." The next day, early morning. After waking up, Yi Feng habitually checked today's waste product. Today's waste product, Tranquility Incense * 500 Tranquility Incense, made from the 10,000-year-old dark god Xian tree. After being lit, the fragrance it emits has the effect of calming the mind and calming the spirit. Practicing in this state can achieve twice the result with half the effort. Hey! When Yi Feng checked today's waste product, he also showed a look of surprise. Why give this kind of rubbish again? Yi Feng remembered very clearly that even the Great Ancestor and others felt that this tranquility incense made from the 10,000-year dark god Xian tree was average, so it must be rubbish here. Grand Ancestor? Elder Bai? However, when Yi Feng left his residence, he saw Luo Tianqing and Bai Gang squatting under his eaves. Especially Luo Tianqing's tattered clothes and the broken bowl in front of him, he couldn't help but sigh at the strong will of this alien cultivator. After so long, he thought that the Grand Ancestor's practice of experiencing life and tempering his mind had long ended. Now it seems that he was narrow-minded. System, can the function of peeping into the secrets of heaven let me know whether a certain method is considered a wasteful behavior? Yi Feng suddenly thought of something and asked the system directly. Ding. Peeping into the secrets of heaven, knowing the past and exploring the future, you can find out in advance whether a certain method is a wasteful behavior. Hearing the system's answer, Yi Feng also showed joy on his face, and then continued to ask, then is it a wasteful behavior for me to throw these 500 Jingshan incense sticks to the Great Ancestor who is experiencing the life of a beggar? Ding. The system determines that Luo Tianqing's mentality at this time is a real beggar's mentality, and throwing Jingshan incense sticks to beggars is a wasteful behavior. Soon, the system's prompt sound rang again. Terrible. Too terrible. This is the psychological state determined by the system. Does the Great Ancestor have to fight so hard? I thought it was just an experience. Who would have thought that in order to temper his state of mind, he really turned himself into a beggar? With such a terrible mentality, the Great Ancestor deserves to become stronger and stronger. Thinking of this, Yifeng also walked over and threw 500 sticks of Jingshan incense directly into the bowl of the great ancestor, and then left the courtyard and walked towards Leng Wufeng's residence. Fuck. Fuck. I'm so shocked. He really gave it to me. Bai Gang, who was watching this scene, was envious and his eyes turned purple. He was familiar with Jingshan incense, but he really didn't expect Yifeng to throw 500 sticks at him like throwing away garbage. Hey! Another fruitful day. Seeing Bai Gang's envious eyes, Luo Tianqing proudly raised the handful of Jingshan incense in his hand, then picked up the broken bowl in front of him and left Yifeng's courtyard with a proud look on his face. No, I have to beg before other people in the sect find out. Thinking of this, Bai Gang suddenly thought of something and immediately got up and left Yifeng's courtyard. A moment later. Who are you? When Bai Gang came to Xiao Chen's luxurious villa, he saw the burly man standing at the door of the villa and asked, with a puzzled look on his face. My name is Jinluan. I just joined the sect yesterday evening and am a chores of the sect. Hearing Bai Gang's question, Emperor Jinluan also lowered his posture. No matter who the person in front of him was, anyone from this sect who came here had a higher status than him. But Emperor Jinluan felt bitter. Being a chores was fine, but he had a name. He was a great emperor in the upper realm, and now he even lost his name. Who could be as miserable as him? Other servants? That's right. If a sect doesn't even have a servant, it's too embarrassing. Thinking of this, Bai Gang looked at the Golden Will Emperor and asked again, should I say it or not, you can come to this sect as a servant, which is also a blessing for you to cultivate for several lifetimes. By the way, what is your strength? My current strength is at the level that I can ascend at any time. Hearing this, the Golden Will Emperor also smiled and looked at Bai Gang and answered, even expecting the other party to be extremely shocked next. After all, Yifeng said that his identity would not be told to the rest of the sect. Even if he is a servant, he has the capital to shock others with his current strength after being sealed. Ascending boss? A strong man like you has come to the sect to be a servant? How much benefit did Yifeng, the prodigal son, give you? What confused the Golden Will Emperor was that the other party not only did not show any shock, but instead showed an extremely envious look, which made him unable to do it at once. Chapter 136, What are you moved by? Who cares about your safety? I didn't get any benefit. I was King captured by him from the upper realm. What's going on with this sect? Why do they all think this way? What the hell are the benefits? There are no benefits at all. Elder Bai, what's the matter? Just when Emperor Jinluan was about to collapse, Xiao Chen walked out of the luxurious villa and looked at Bai Gang and asked in confusion. Elder Xiao, did you throw away the tattered Taoist robe you wore before? Hearing Xiao Chen's question, Bai Gang also stated the purpose of this visit directly. A few minutes later. This sect is too weird. The people in this sect are not normal. Seeing Bai Gang wearing Xiao Chen's tattered Taoist robe and leaving with excitement, Emperor Jinluan was really confused. This was not at all the same as the Shantian continent he knew. Xiao Chen, who was standing by, was also confused. He couldn't understand why Bai Gang wanted his worn-out Taoist robe that he had worn for 200 years. Did he like the smell? Okay, follow me to the sect hall. Xiao Chen stopped thinking about Bai Gang's suspicious behavior and spoke directly to the Golden Will Emperor beside him. After a moment. This is the Wuji Shanling formation. When the Golden Will Emperor came to the front of the sect hall and felt the aura of the formation covering the entire sect hall, he was completely dumbfounded. Isn't this the unique spirit-gathering formation of the Wuji Holy Land? Why did it appear in this lower world? Is there a descendant of the Wuji Holy Land in this sect? With doubts, the Golden Will Emperor also followed Xiao Chen into the sect hall. Wuji Shanqing Gong. After entering the hall, when the Golden Wheel Emperor sensed the familiar aura from Luo Qianxue who was practicing, his face suddenly changed, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. Wuji Shanqing Gong. This is the top-level technique of Wuji Holy Land. Only the successive masters of the Holy Land and the Holy Sons or Holy Daughters are qualified to practice it, and the Holy Sons and Holy Daughters cannot be selected from the lower realms. Thinking of this, Emperor Jinluan suddenly had an extremely bold guess in his mind. The Holy Daughter was reincarnated. Apart from this, he could not think of any other possibilities. Elder Shao, how to arrange the golden wheel is left to you. Sensing the arrival of the two, Luo Qianxue, who was sitting cross-legged, opened her eyes, and then closed her eyes again and began to practice. Let's go. Don't disturb the master's practice. Although he had not been in the sect for long, Xiaochen also knew that Luo Qianxue was a practice maniac. What a close call. Yi Feng said that my identity cannot be exposed. If there are enemies in the future, I will definitely not be able to use the golden wheel. If I hadn't discovered the master's secret today, maybe my identity would be exposed, and then I would really be dead. The Golden Wheel Emperor who left the sect hall was also very fortunate at this time. He didn't think that Yi Feng would listen to his explanation at that time. On the other side. Big brother, I was just about to find you. Meeting Leng Wufeng halfway, Yi Feng was also stunned when he heard this. I was about to find you, and you were also about to come to me. This kind of telepathy, Big brother said he didn't want to have it. Big brother, my grandfather contacted me last night with the sound transmission jade pendant, and told me to rush to Tianhen City as soon as possible. He didn't tell me anything specific. Can you go with me? Leng Wufeng looked at Yi Feng and said what he was thinking. Grandfather? You still have a grandfather? Hearing this, Yi Feng was also stunned. He really didn't know that Leng Wufeng actually had a grandfather. Yes. My grandfather is also an alchemist. At first, I felt that our sect was a little unreliable. In the end, it was my grandfather who sent me a message to let me stay. Fortunately, I stayed, otherwise I would definitely regret it. Leng Wufeng looked at Yi Feng and explained with a smile. Does your grandfather know that you changed your career to become a chef? Yi Feng suddenly thought of something at this time, and looked at Leng Wufeng and asked directly. Big brother, why do you say I want you to accompany me? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Leng Wufeng asked back with embarrassment. Damn. It seems that you want me to accompany you. In fact, you want me to take the blame. Hearing this, Yi Feng was stunned. Big brother, I have no choice. If my grandfather knew that I changed my career to become a chef, he would definitely beat me to death. I thought about it all night, and I feel that only you, big brother, can calm my grandfather in the entire sect. Seeing that Yi Feng was silent, Leng Wufeng also hurriedly explained. Ding. Task released, please go to Tianhen City to participate in the alchemy competition. There is no ranking requirement. You only need to use the spiritual herbs provided by the system to refine the pills. It doesn't matter if the pills cannot be condensed into shape, or even if the furnace explodes. If the task is successful, you will be rewarded with 1 million spendthrift points. If the task fails, there is no penalty, and you can refuse it. Hearing Leng Wufeng's words, thinking that the other party's change of career is indeed closely related to him, just when Yi Feng was about to agree, the system's voice suddenly rang. There is such a task, there are no requirements. Just participate in the alchemy competition, and then take the spiritual herbs provided by the system and refine them randomly to get 1 million squandering points. Accept. If you don't accept this kind of task, then you must have been kicked in the head by a donkey. Brother Wufeng, your change of career to become a chef is related to me. I will naturally be responsible for this matter. Let's go to the master now, and set off immediately. With that, Yifeng took Leng Wufeng and walked quickly towards the main hall of the sect. What's going on? Why did the eldest brother get excited all of a sudden? Why do I suddenly feel a little panic? Seeing Yifeng, who was excited in an instant, Leng Wufeng inexplicably felt a little uneasy. In the main hall of the sect. What? You are going out again? When Luo Qianxue heard that Yifeng was going to leave the sect again to go out for training, the whole person was going crazy. It's not over yet? He just brought someone back last night, and he is going to kidnap someone again? Huh. Taking a deep breath, Luo Qianxue stared at Yifeng and said directly, "It's okay if you want to go out for training, it's okay if you want to take Leng Wufeng with you, it's okay no matter how many people you take with you, but I have only one request, several people must come back." Master, don't worry. I will definitely protect junior brother Wufeng. However, since Master is so worried about our safety, for the sake of safety, let's take the blood-sucking mantis away together. Hearing Luo Qianxue's words, Yifeng also patted his chest and promised. Master, you really care about us too much. Don't worry, with the eldest brother here, we will definitely come back safely. Leng Wufeng on the side also said with emotion. What are you talking about here? Who cares about your safety? I mean, don't bring anyone back again. With that one-armed madman who can suppress the way of heaven, who can threaten you? Looking at the two people who were full of emotion, Luo Qianxue felt that she was going crazy. She waved her hand and asked them to leave quickly, otherwise she was really afraid that she would be angry to death. Chapter 137 Primary Assessment. Yifeng was completely numb. Leaving again. Don't bring anyone back this time. Looking at the two people who left on the blood-sucking mantis, Luo Qianxue, who was standing outside the sect, had an uneasy look on her face. Big brother, the sect master really cares about us too much. It's just an outing for training, but he actually came out to see us off in person. Hearing Leng Wufeng's words, Yifeng also looked back at Luo Qianxue who was getting farther and farther away below, then nodded and said, Yes, you see that the master's face is full of worry about our outing for training. If Luo Qianxue heard what the two said, she would probably be so angry that she would vomit 3 liters of blood. By the way, bloodthirsty mantis, do you know where Tianhen City is? Yifeng suddenly thought of something and asked the bloodthirsty mantis directly. I don't know. Hearing this, Yifeng continued to ask with a black face, then where are we flying now? I don't know. 3 minutes later. Fly east. After beating up the bloodthirsty mantis, Yifeng had to use the function of peeping into the sky to get the route to Tianhen City. Why are you hitting me? I flew this way, and you didn't say anything, I thought it was right. Who would have thought that you didn't know the way? The bloodthirsty mantis was bitter at this time, but it didn't say it. Wait. Return to the sect immediately, let's borrow Elder Shao Chen's 9th grade flying spiritual weapon. At this moment, Yifeng suddenly thought of something and hurriedly asked the bloodthirsty mantis to turn around immediately. You should have said earlier if you had a flying spiritual weapon. Did I get beaten for nothing? When the blood-sucking mantis heard this, it wanted to cry to death. How could you play tricks on a demon like this? 10 minutes later. Yifeng, Leng Wufeng and the blood-sucking mantis that had transformed into a human form got on Shao Chen's 9th grade gourd flying spiritual tool and left Xinghuan sect again at full speed. I don't know how long it will take for Yifeng to come back after he leaves this time. It's time to go back to Xingji sect, otherwise the 4 old guys might come over. Thinking of the harvest of 500 Jingshan incense sticks, a heavenly furnace and a small bucket of soul-purifying water, Luo Tianxing was already very satisfied. Blood-sucking mantis, don't worry about how many spirit stones you consume, just use all your strength to activate the flying spirit tool. At this speed, we can probably reach Tianhen City in the early morning tomorrow. Well. Hearing this, blood-sucking Mantis and Leng Wufeng both looked at Yi Feng with a look of surprise. What does this mean, you have to travel at night? They know very well that Yi Feng has never had the habit of traveling at night, so he must have a good sleep. Why are you looking at me like this, am I handsome again? Yi Feng touched his handsome face and asked the man and the demon with a puzzled look. Big brother, are we going to travel at night? Aren't you going to sleep? Leng Wufeng looked at the narcissistic Yi Feng and asked. Sleep. Blood-sucking Mantis activates the flying spiritual weapon. I'll draw a map later, and you show it the way. At night, we'll sleep back to back, and I'll lean on you. Hearing this, blood-sucking Mantis and Leng Wufeng couldn't help but smile bitterly. Overthinking. They both thought too much after all. 9th grade flying spiritual weapon. The 9th peak of Rongling realm, the 9th peak of Shenzong realm, and one flew over before we could check their strength. Brother, shall we chase him? A bearded man standing on a knife-shaped flying spiritual weapon that could only hold 2 people looked at the middle-aged man beside him and asked with greed in his eyes. Snap. 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 The middle-aged man slapped the bearded man's head with his hands, and angrily cursed, Chase. 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 He is a 9th grade flying spiritual weapon, and he is using it with all his strength. It's so fast that I can't even see his shadow. You are chasing him with your mouth. Along the way, the 2 men and the demon also met many cultivators, and saw all kinds of flying spiritual weapons. But the eyes of those people looking at them were full of envy. If you have money, the 9th grade flying spiritual weapon is a treasure. If you don't have money, the 9th grade flying spiritual weapon is scrap metal, and they will be heartbroken to death if they activate it. The next morning, as the sky brightened, a huge town appeared in the sight of bloodthirsty Mantis and Leng Wufeng. Big brother, wake up, we're here. Leng Wufeng gently pushed Yi Feng, who was leaning against him, with his right elbow. He didn't dare to move at all that night, for fear of affecting the 7 fairies game that Yi Feng mentioned. Are we there? So soon? Yi Feng, who woke up in a daze, muttered casually. Fast? Of course you feel fast when you sleep, one makes you dare not move. One controls the flying spiritual weapon and dare not have too much fluctuation. Thinking of this, the blood-sucking Mantis and Leng Wufeng collapsed and wanted to shout, do you know how we got through this night? Brother Wufeng, go find your grandfather first. I have something to do here. I will find you later. After entering the town, Yi Feng took the blood-sucking Mantis and left first, because he wanted to find the registration place for the alchemy competition. After walking for a while, Yi Feng found that most of the people in Tianhen city were wearing alchemy robes, which showed that they were all alchemists. Tianhen Pavilion. After asking, Yi Feng and the blood-sucking Mantis soon came to a place called Tianhen Pavilion, and the alchemy competition held in Tianhen city this time was registered here. Not only that, Yi Feng also knew that this Tianhen Pavilion was founded by several top alchemists in Xinjiang continent, and there are Tianhen pavilions in many large towns. However, this Tianhen Pavilion is not a force, but it is the most authoritative place for all alchemists in the continent to assess their grades. What? To register for the alchemy competition, you must pass the primary assessment first? However, when Yi Feng entered the Tianhen Pavilion and wanted to register, he suddenly received a piece of news that made him extremely upset. Because there are too many applicants, only the top 100 alchemists of each grade are eligible to participate in the real alchemy competition, and the way to compete for the quota is also very simple, that is, to refine a pill in front of the alchemists of Tianhen Pavilion, and the difficulty and number of patterns of this pill will be used for evaluation. But I can't make pills. After learning about this situation, Yi Feng was completely numb. Although there would be no punishment for failing the task, he wanted the 1 million spendthrift points. Forget it, It seems that I have no chance to get these 1 million spendthrift points. After struggling for a long time, Yifeng finally chose to give up. My friend, you are here to participate in the alchemy competition. Come with me, I will give you a primary assessment. At this time, a middle-aged man walked in front of Yifeng and took the confused Yifeng directly to an alchemy room on the second floor. Chung. The person in charge of Tianhen Pavilion, who was responsible for receiving Yifeng, was also shocked when he saw the man. When he was about to shout something, he saw the other party shaking his head, so he held back the remaining 2 words "sir," but the person in charge was envious. You know, the primary assessment is to gather 100 people and then be supervised by a high-grade alchemist from Tianhen Pavilion. Yifeng, who was personally assessed by Qinghai, is absolutely unique. After all, the reason why this alchemy competition can attract so many alchemists is because Qinghai, the top alchemist on the continent, came to watch. Everyone hopes to be noticed by Qinghai and soar to the sky. Chapter 138. Are you refining pills here, or making bombs here? On the second floor, in the alchemy room. I noticed you since you entered Tianhen Pavilion. Among all those who come to participate in the alchemy competition, you are the only one who is not wearing a pill robe. If nothing unexpected happens, this should be your first time here. Don't be nervous, just do the same as you usually do, and perform at your normal level. Okay, please start your performance. Qinghai looked at Yifeng, who was nervous, and said with a smile. The big demon who has withstood 2 heavenly thunder tribulations is guarding him closely. This kid is not simple. After all, there are still many powerful alchemists on the mainland who disdain to come to Tianhen Pavilion for assessment. This kid might be the disciple of a powerful alchemist. I hope he can bring me some surprises. Thinking of this, Qinghai looked at Yifeng again with a hint of expectation. What to start? I don't know how to make pills. I'm ready to leave. Why did you bring me up? Hearing Qinghai's words, Yifeng's face was instantly covered with black lines. Ding. Release branch tasks. The host uses the spiritual herbs provided by the system to conduct primary assessments. Whether or not the assessment is passed, if the task is successful, 500,000 prodigal points will be awarded. If the task fails, there will be no punishment and it can be refused. Just when Yifeng was about to turn around and leave, the system's voice suddenly sounded again. The system is crazy. Isn't this giving me prodigal points for free? Are you so excited that you even give prodigal points so unscrupulously? Hearing the system's prompt sound, Yifeng was also shocked, but since the system is ready to give it for free, how could he not want it? Examiner, wait a moment, I'll have someone send the alchemy furnace up. As he said that, Yifeng directly sent a telepathic message to the blood-sucking mantis downstairs. Okay. My name is Qinghai, you can call me Lord Qing. Hearing Yifeng's words, Qinghai also smiled and introduced his identity, and even looked forward to the other party's shock after knowing who he was. Oh. Just 1-0? Don't you know who I am? Hearing Yifeng's answer, Qinghai was stunned. This was different from what he expected. Bang! 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 At this moment, a knock on the door suddenly sounded, and soon, the blood-sucking mantis holding a heaven-level furnace came in from outside the door. That's a heaven-level furnace. When Qinghai saw the heaven-level furnace held by the blood-sucking mantis, his eyes almost popped out of his head. But what about the various scratches on the furnace? What did this big monster do with this heaven-level furnace? Soon, when Qinghai noticed the countless scratches on the heaven-level furnace, he almost cried with heartache. This is the heaven-level furnace, the lifeblood of the alchemist. What on earth have you done to it? Young Master Yi, can you please not use it? If I use it to make pills, I will feel that it is not clean. Knowing that Yifeng was going to use his heaven-level furnace to make pills, the blood-sucking mantis was extremely reluctant to make a final struggle. It's not clean. Isn't this thing used for making pills? Hearing what the blood-sucking mantis said, Tianhen felt that his blood pressure rose. Xiaoxue, I know that you can swing this furnace to hit people very easily, but I don't have any other alchemy furnaces now. Don't worry, I will be gentle with it. As he said, Yifeng directly snatched the heaven-level furnace from the blood-sucking mantis. Young Master Yi, don't you have another 9 dragons burning heaven cauldron? You can use that to make pills. Looking at the stolen heaven-level furnace cauldron, the blood-sucking mantis felt like it had lost its most beloved thing, and struggled again with grievance. Nonsense. The 9 dragons burning heaven cauldron is what I use for barbecue. Is it for making pills? Okay, get out quickly, don't affect my primary assessment. With that, Yifeng drove the blood-sucking mantis out of the alchemy room. What are you two talking about here? The heaven-level furnace cauldron is particularly convenient to hit people? What kind of 9 dragons burning heaven cauldron is used for barbecue? Can you respect the alchemy furnace? Listening to the conversation between the man and the demon, Tianhen on the side was completely dumbfounded. Huh. Regardless of whether what Yifeng and the blood-sucking mantis said was true or false, seeing Yifeng sitting in front of the furnace with a nervous look at this time, Tianhen didn't know why, suddenly felt a little uneasy. Boom. The flame condensed by the violent fire attribute spiritual power instantly burned in the furnace, and seeing this scene, Tianhen's expression also became serious. The first step of making a fire in the furnace was not wrong. According to the different elixirs to be refined, the temperature in the furnace and the strength of the flame also have different requirements. That is, the first-grade red flame grass, which is also an extremely rare spiritual grass among the first-grade spiritual herbs, and it is also the main spiritual grass for refining the red flame huiyang pill. Is he going to refine the red flame huiyang pill, which is extremely difficult among the first-grade pills? Seeing a spiritual grass emitting a trace of hot breath in Yifeng's hand, Tianhen's brain was also working rapidly, guessing the type of pill Yifeng was going to refine. First, put 1/3 of the roots of the red flame grass into the alchemy furnace for refining, then put in half of the grass leaves, and then… Fuck. Why did you throw the whole red flame grass in directly? Just as Tianhen's mind flashed the process of refining the red flame rejuvenating pill, he was horrified to find that Yifeng casually threw a whole plant of red flame grass into the heaven-level furnace. Wait. The second one? It only takes 1 red flame grass to refine the red flame rejuvenating pill. What do you mean by taking out another one? Fuck. No. Just as Tianhen was puzzled, Yifeng casually threw the second red flame grass into the heaven-level furnace. The third one. The fourth one. The 20th one. After Yifeng threw in 20 red flame grasses in succession, Tianhen was numb. That's Yinbing flower. 1. 2. 13. That's Purple Star Spirit Leaf. 1. 2. 15. Each of the first-grade spiritual herbs that Yifeng took out was a rare spiritual herb. Even the Tianhen pavilion would not dare to waste these rare first-grade spiritual herbs, but Yifeng directly threw in more than 10 of each type. Tianhen's brain was also working rapidly at this time, thinking about the characteristics of these spiritual herbs and calculating what effect these spiritual herbs might produce if they were randomly combined. No. Just when Tianhen roughly guessed the situation of these spiritual herbs gathering together, he suddenly saw Yifeng take out a 3-petal spiritual herb with a black body. He suddenly thought of something and exclaimed with a changed expression. Boom! After Yifeng threw the last 3 petals of black leaf grass into the heaven-level furnace, a muffled sound suddenly came from the furnace. If this was not a heaven-level furnace, but just an ordinary yellow-level furnace, the furnace would have exploded directly. Qinghai, who saw this scene, was almost crazy. Are you refining pills here, or making bombs here? You said you can refine pills, the whole process is just like a novice, and you don't care about any spiritual herbs, just throw them into the alchemy furnace. But if you say you can't refine pills, the number of each spiritual herb is extremely perfect, and these 8 spiritual herbs are combined together to cause the furnace to explode. One less will not work, and any one will not work, and even the order cannot have any deviation. Chapter 139 Mr. Cheng, I can still refine, let me try again. Damn. The furnace exploded. It exploded on your body, and the pain is in my heart. I smashed the handy cauldron of a little friend, you were wronged. The blood-sucking mantis, that had been paying attention to the situation in the alchemy room outside the door, also showed an extremely distressed look at this time. Boom. 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 With each 3-petal black leaf grass thrown in by Yifeng, a muffled sound would be heard in the heavenly furnace, which also excited Yifeng. Prodigal son. This is a pure prodigal son. There are so many rare first-grade spiritual herbs, but you don't make pills properly, but you are here to blow up the furnace. Seeing Yifeng throw the 9th 3-petal black leaf grass into the heavenly furnace to fuse the last remaining power of the 7 spiritual herbs, before making a last muffled sound, Qinghai felt that the other party was not here to make pills, but to show off the heavenly furnace. Heavenly furnace. Rare spiritual herbs. Which one is not the most important thing for an alchemist, but now it is being wasted by Yifeng. Qinghai feels very distressed. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing the branch task, and reward 500,000 spendthrift points. Ding. Remind the host that this branch task can be repeated infinitely, and the system will provide these 8 spiritual herbs infinitely until Qinghai declares the host unqualified or passes the primary assessment. Stare. Just when Yifeng thought the branch task was over, who would have thought that he would get an unexpected surprise from the system? Infinite brushing. 500,000 spendthrift points at a time. Doesn't this mean that as long as Qinghai doesn't let him stop, he can keep brushing spendthrift points? If he does it 20 times, wouldn't it be enough to break through to the peak of the 9th level of the Purple Mansion realm with 9 million spendthrift points? What alchemy competition? If he made enough money this time, would he still need the 1 million points to lose in the alchemy competition? Master Cheng, I was a little nervous just now. Although I failed this time, I still want to try again. Yifeng looked at Qinghai, who was frowning, and said seriously. Huh. Qinghai took a deep breath, and seeing Yifeng's serious look, he said directly, this time, we must refine the elixir well, and never blow up the furnace again. To be honest, although Yifeng now showed a serious look, Qinghai was still a little uneasy in his heart. Alas! When Qinghai saw Yifeng take out another red flame grass and throw it into the heaven-level furnace, he sighed and turned his head to the other side. He didn't want to see the scene of the family's loss just now. Boom. 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 A few minutes later, the familiar muffled sound of the furnace explosion sounded again. Qinghai wanted to teach Yifeng a lesson immediately. If there was no big demon guarding him, proving that his identity was extraordinary, he really wanted to slap him directly. I have seen a family's loss, but I have never seen such a family's loss. The blood-sucking mantis standing outside the door silently covered his ears with both hands, not listening, not feeling pain. Master Cheng. I don't believe that I can waste your time any longer. I must refine a pill. I must pass this primary assessment. In order to pass it a few more times, Yifeng also showed his superb acting skills at this time. Don't refine it. You have passed the primary assessment. Hearing this, Qinghai turned around and saw Yifeng took out another red flame grass. He was so scared that he hurriedly spoke out to stop him. It was just a quota, but those first-grade rare spiritual herbs really had one less, even if it was only first grade. Moreover, he was afraid that if he didn't pass it, this prodigal son might go to other Tianhen pavilion alchemists to continue to participate in the primary assessment. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the branch task, and reward 500,000 spendthrift points. Ding! The branch task is over. The system no longer provides the spiritual herbs required for the primary assessment, and no longer issues branch task rewards. As Qinghai's voice fell, Yifeng was stunned when he heard the two prompt sounds from the system in succession. He only earned 1 million spendthrift points in the branch task in total, and was a little excited just now, but it ended? I have shown such a tenacious spirit of alchemy, shouldn't I be allowed to try a few more times? How can I pass it directly? Master Cheng, I can still refine, I can definitely succeed, or let me try again. Yifeng looked at Qinghai and expressed his thoughts with the idea that he might trigger the branch task again. No need to try, your superb alchemy ability has been recognized by me, so let's do it. Tomorrow is the day of the alchemy competition, you should prepare well first. After speaking, Qinghai left the alchemy room directly. Regret. He really regretted it. He shouldn't have been curious about Yifeng. He thought he would bring him some surprises, but who would have thought he would bring him heartache? Even now, he is not sure whether he can make pills. No, the heaven-level furnace has appeared. This matter must be discussed with Elder Leng. Thinking of this, Qinghai, who had just come down from the second floor, immediately left Tianhen Pavilion. In a guest room of a restaurant. This is a heaven-level furnace. Looking at the heaven-level furnace in front of him, Leng Jiolong was like seeing his beloved girl. He carefully checked around the heaven-level furnace, fearing that he would miss a place. Wait. When Leng Jiolong checked the inside of the heaven-level furnace, he was surprised to find that there was some clear water inside, which made him instantly confused. A pill furnace is burned by flames all year round, how could there be water inside? Wufeng, what's the matter with the water inside? With doubts, Leng Jiolong also looked directly at Leng Wufeng and asked. It may be that I didn't empty it clean. I have been throwing this heaven-level furnace in the yard as a water tank. Anyway, he will reveal his cards later, and Leng Wufeng is not going to hide anything. Heaven-level furnace as a water tank? Hearing this, Leng Jiolong was so angry that his beard stood up. Is this something a human can do? Wufeng, you have changed. Stare. Hearing this, Leng Wufeng's pupils suddenly dilated, and he said in shock, Grandpa found out so quickly that I changed my career to become a chef? How long have you been in that sect? 1 month or 2 months? You used to be honest and upright, but how come you are so arrogant now that you dare to use even the heavenly furnace as a water tank? Who gave you the courage? Huh. Hearing Leng Jiolong scolding, Leng Wufeng also breathed a sigh of relief. Grandpa, I brought this heaven-level furnace cauldron this time to give it to you. Leng Wufeng had asked Yifeng before, and after getting Yifeng's permission, Leng Wufeng brought the heaven-level furnace cauldron here. Although I don't know who gave you the courage to be so arrogant, fortunately your filial piety is still there. Leng Jiolong ignored Leng Wufeng and checked the heaven-level furnace cauldron again with a silly smile. This is a heaven-level furnace cauldron. There are only 4 in the entire Shantian continent, and one of them disappeared with Xiaochen, the old immortal. Looking at the heaven-level furnace cauldron in front of him, Leng Jiolong couldn't help but recall that he had begged Xiaochen countless times 200 years ago, even if he gave everything just to get that heaven-level furnace cauldron. Who would have thought that this lifelong wish would be achieved at this time? Xiaochen? Grandpa, is the Xiaochen you are talking about a soul cultivator? Hearing his grandfather's muttering, Leng Wufeng also revealed a touch of surprise and asked out loud. Chapter 140. You may not believe it, but it does not mean I do not believe it. How do you know? Hearing Leng Wufeng's question, Leng Jiolong also showed a hint of surprise. He did not think that his 20-year-old grandson could know about the soul cultivator Zhan, who was hundreds of years old. Of course I know. Senior Zhan is now the elder of the Xinghuan sect where I am. He is just like you, Grandpa, with terrifying power that can ascend at any time. The flying spiritual weapon we came here on was borrowed from Elder Zhan. Leng Wufeng looked at Ling Jiolong, who was full of doubts, and explained with a smile. Elder? Zhan would actually go to the small sect where you are to be an elder. What a joke. Hearing this, Ling Jiolong couldn't believe his ears. That sect was just a small sect founded by the daughter of Luo Wuming, the leader of Xingji sect. How could Zhan, who had disappeared for 200 years, be an elder? Grandpa, you don't want to be an elder in my sect, do you? At this moment, Leng Wufeng suddenly thought of something, looked at Ling Jiolong and continued, it's not easy to enter the sect now. When I went out yesterday morning, I learned that there was another ascended boss in the sect, but he could only be a sect errand boy. Thinking of the big brother squandering, Leng Wufeng didn't know if his grandfather could stand it, so he simply reminded him first. A ascended boss is a errand boy? Are you kidding me? Do you really think that the strong have no dignity? Hearing this, Ling Jiolong looked at Leng Wufeng with an angry look and scolded him directly. The dignity of the strong should not be trampled on. Dignity is worthless in front of the loser. Looking at the furious Ling Jiolong, Leng Wufeng muttered in a low voice. Mr. Leng, can I come in? Just then, Qinghai's voice suddenly sounded from outside the door. Come in, the door is not closed. Squeak, as the door was slowly pushed open, Ling Jiolong thought of the heaven-grade furnace beside him, and put it into the space ring at lightning speed. Old Leng, something big has happened. Someone appeared at the Tianhen pavilion. When he said this, Qinghai noticed Leng Wufeng in the room, and quickly smiled and said, You are Wufeng, I didn't expect you to be so big in the blink of an eye. Tell me, what happened at the Tianhen pavilion? Hearing that it was related to the Tianhen pavilion, Ling Jiolong also asked with a serious face. Old Leng, it's like this. A few minutes later. Big monster. Prodigal son. After hearing Qinghai's words, Ling Jiolong recalled the senior brother and the sect guardian demon who came with him this time, which Leng Wufeng had introduced before. He looked directly at Leng Wufeng and shouted, Another heaven-level furnace tripod. How many heaven-level furnace tripods do you have in your sect? Not many, including Elder Zhan's own, our sect only has 11 now. At this time, Leng Wufeng didn't know that Yifeng's heaven-level furnace tripod had been given to the great ancestor Luo Tianxing. Nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. There are only 4 in the entire Shantian continent, and your sect has 11? If there are really so many heaven-level furnaces, how could we, the top alchemists on the continent, not have even one? The more he talked, the sadder he became. Although he said so, Ling Jiolong knew that his grandson would never lie to him. But when he thought that they, the top alchemists, could not get one in their lifetime, and their sect had 11, and they were either used as weapons or thrown in the yard as water tanks, no one could bear it. I didn't expect it to be so lively here. Master Qinghai, we meet again. At this moment, Yifeng's playful voice suddenly sounded from outside the door. Seeing Yifeng and the blood-sucking mantis coming in, Qinghai was also embarrassed. He didn't expect that the other party would be Leng Wufeng's senior brother. I didn't expect it to be one of our own. System, this Qinghai is cheating for my own benefit. If I don't give him a heaven-level furnace, I won't be able to sleep or eat well. Knowing that Qinghai is actually close to Leng Wufeng's grandfather, Yifeng doesn't mind actively triggering some prodigal behavior on him. Ding. Using a heaven-level furnace as a gift to get through the back door is consistent with prodigal behavior. Hearing the system's prompt sound, Yifeng also laughed, looked at Qinghai and said with a smile, Master Qing, I had 2 consecutive furnace explosions when I was refining pills before, but you still sent me to the alchemy competition. Pung. With a muffled sound, Yi Feng patted the heaven-level furnace taken out from the system space and continued, in order to express Master Cheng's help to me, this heaven-level furnace will be given to Master Cheng. Is this the sense of oppression brought by the prodigal son? Seeing that Yi Feng took out a heaven-level furnace, Ling Jiolong was also shocked, and even now he had a terrible idea that the heaven-level furnace was just like this. Young Master Yi, I let you advance, just because I don't want to see you continue to spend money. I don't deserve it, I don't deserve it. Although he said so, Qinghai had already hugged the heaven-level furnace and kissed it with green eyes. This was his lifelong pursuit. Happiness came too suddenly. Seeing this scene, Ling Jiolong's face became extremely embarrassed, and he secretly cursed Qinghai for bringing shame to Tianhen Pavilion. Hey! Another one fell. Leng Wufeng on the side sighed as if he was used to it, as if he had guessed it long ago. Ding! Congratulations to the host for triggering the spendthrift behavior, and rewarded 100,000 spendthrift points. Hearing the system's prompt sound, Yi Feng also showed a touch of joy. It has only been a short time since he came to Tianhen City, and he has already obtained 1.1 million spendthrift points. When he makes a few more mistakes in the alchemy competition tomorrow, he will have another 1 million spendthrift points in his account. It can be said that this time coming to Tianhen City, he made a lot of money. Master Cheng, you are too narrow-minded. If you had let me refine it a few more times, I would definitely give you a furnace tripod with a tripod spirit. Yi Feng suddenly said as he looked at Qinghai, who was full of happiness. Young Master Yi, stop it. Whether it is a weapon spirit or a tripod spirit, it is not something that should exist in the lower world. Hearing this, Qinghai just thought Yi Feng was teasing him. Master Cheng, you may not believe it, but it does not mean I don't have it. As he said that, Yi Feng looked at Leng Wufeng. Anyway, he had to talk about changing his career to become a chef sooner or later, and now was a very good time. Master Cheng, look at what this is. Leng Wufeng knew it was time to show his cards, and directly took out 7 knives, with dragon soul spirits from the space ring. This is impossible. When Qinghai and Ling Jiolong saw the 7 knives floating in front of Leng Wufeng, each with a dragon soul spirit surrounding the blade, they all widened their eyes and exclaimed in disbelief.